What's poppin', back like we never left, and today we're here to just talk about One Piece chapter 944 and the talk around it and just the significance of everything just transpiring around the chapter. Honestly, this has been talked about for a while, and I've been in the community a couple of years now, and it's been mentioned a lot, right, based on this cover page, the cover spread. And if you guys don't know, One Piece chapter 944 is a very highly anticipated chapter based on some foreshadowing from the past. People are assuming that it might be, and the major thing that the popular theory is that Zoro is going to die in One Piece chapter 944. What? Oda didn't kill Pell. Oda is not killing Zoro. Let me just throw that out there. That's really early in the video, so you know where I stand on like One Piece chapter 944 and that whole thing about Zoro possibly dying. However, for people that don't know, this is just a video to inform you exactly. It's like the talks around the community, because a lot of things I didn't know before I got into the community, but when you get into the community, you start following different people, you see different posts, and you just realize like the talk and different things that people believe based on cover spreads. Now, cover stories, they're typically just fan requests or different things Oda throws out there. And a lot of people say, well, you can't believe a cover story. There's nothing of significance there. There's a cover story back then that kind of predicted Ace's death. I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm not going to go back and look at it because Ace's death is traumatic or traumatizing for me. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. However, there's cover stories back then that gives you some information about things that happen in the future, like Sanji and the whole Mr. Prince thing and him packing his bags. It's like different things like that that gave you some information or inside information or some hints towards what could possibly be the future of a character or the demise of a character in regards to Ace. So in this instance, in One Piece chapter 944, or in the cover spread of One Piece chapter 784, we have Zoro sitting on a tombstone, and a lot of people feel like on a tombstone it says 944. Zoro has a skull and cross on his back, and it has a lot of just to do with zombies and dead people, and people were linking that to Zoro possibly dying in that chapter. Of course, the chapter is coming out later this week, so people were linking it towards that. However, I have a completely different perspective. First off, again, Oda does not kill off main characters. There are no main characters that have died in the story ever, and I don't think it's gonna happen. So people mention Ace and Whitebeard, like characters don't even die real time. A lot of characters die in the past. People don't die in real time. It's just Oda just doesn't do that. He likes recycling characters, so killing the characters just doesn't make sense for his writing style. Ace was not a main character, but he was related to the main character, but he was not a main character. We got only so many chapters of Ace in the canon story, right? Of course, we had the Impel Down stuff, the Marineford stuff, in which he had flashes, right? But as far as like full like Ace in the story, Ace had some moments in the story, but it's not enough for him to be considered a main character. He was just related to the main character. Whitebeard, again, not a main character, just really two dope characters, right? People may differ on the Ace thing, however, fight me. All right, just fight me. Oda killing off a main character in the story 944, it just doesn't make sense. So first off, we gotta examine, I've said first off 3 times now, so we're just gonna keep on doing it. First off, we have to examine exactly where the story is, right? And right now where the story is, Zoro and Sanji just rescued Toko. Do you think Oda would kill Zoro in Wano before achieving anything? Like, Zoro hasn't done anything. Like, saving Toko again, after saving Kurosaki and Toko from Kamazo and fighting Gukimaru and his failure, he deemed it. Do you think Oda would kill Zoro after that? We haven't learned anything about the other like premier swordsman of Wano, and Zoro hasn't unlocked anything new. We haven't seen Astra in the new world. This is the arc in which we felt like we would get the most from Zoro, and we expect Oda to actually kill Zoro in One Piece chapter 944. I understand that it's ominous and it shows a bunch of things that it could say, okay, something may go down, but it's not going to be anything relating to Zoro dying at all. After reviewing this cover spread and looking at it myself, I came to several conclusions as far as like what could happen in this chapter, because I think something could happen, but Oda's a troll sometimes. So even chapter 900, people expected, fireworks. We didn't get anything to like 902 or 903, which was amazing, but 900 was nothing really. I think that's when the Straw Hat ship We thought the Stride ship was destroyed. I think that's what it was. But 900 was not as good as a lot of people presumed. And that was one of the popular things in the community. So 944, based on the cover spread, we can just examine the cover spread based on what we see so far. Zoro's sitting down on the tombstone, right? He's being hugged by some zombie or whatever it is. For me, this is, I mean, going back to theories from early in the story, this could hint towards him reuniting with someone that could have been dead in the past. And it could be one of two people. It could be either Kuina or it could be more information on Ryuma. Those two people, they are dead, right? They're confirmed. Well, I don't even know if confirmed dead. I think Kuina was confirmed dead in like a Vivid card or something, but that doesn't even mean anything. But they're confirmed dead. Ryuma is dead, Kuina is dead. And this could mean Zoro is going to have some interaction with somebody from the past that is considered dead. Or we're going to get some backstory on somebody that's considered dead. Now, me personally, I would like for it to be Kuina, because I just hate the fact of how Kuina went out. I think it was the weakest way to eliminate a character out of a story, especially a prominent character like that. There's so many ways you could have done it. She got kidnapped, or her father snapped, or something. And again, we saw connections with Zoro, or Zoro's senpai, Koshiro, and Wano. As far as Koshiro, the name of Zoro's village is the Yasu's last name, right? So it's a lot of connection there with Zoro and Wano, so we may get some more about that. And we may figure out what the connection is, the true connection of Zoro and Wano, and maybe Kuina, if he got shipped to Wano somehow. Again, theory. Ryuma, we may get some information as far as like how to unlock a black blade, how Zoro can turn his blades into permanent black blades, other than Shusui, of course, because Shusui is already a black blade, but how to turn his other blades into a black blade. First, he has to find his other sword, so it's just so many things Zoro has to do. So killing him off is it's not even plausible. It's not even a thing. Like, we can't even, I really can't even think of a scenario in which Zoro dies here. Another thing I noticed in the cover spread, which was cool, was Sanji. Of course, people say I'm a Sanji fanboy. I don't care. But in Sanji on the cover spread, he is being groped by a presumably dead woman. And the woman looks a lot like Hawkins, right? She looks a lot like Hawkins. I'm thinking, could this be hinting towards Sanji versus Hawkins matchup? We saw in last chapter, we saw Sanji, Hawkins, Zoro, X-Drake. We saw all those people in one place. So we may see a Hawkins versus Sanji, Zoro versus X-Drake matchup. We also see an X. Well, it looks like a cross, but it's in the shape of an X in the chapter. So, like, again, reaching a little bit, because it's just because we know what transpired in the most recent chapter. We look at the cover spread from that day. It's so many things you'd be like, oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But there's nothing really definitive that we can say that could really happen. So that's where I am with it. So guys, I mean, let me know your thoughts. What do you see happening? Do you see Zoro actually dying here? Which I don't think it's even a chance of it. The Sanji Hawkins thing, what do you think about that? I'm not mad when people do this. I don't care when people make predictions or make assumptions based on cover pages or make theories. It's funny, I watched an interesting video the other day about theories and how theories ruin the story. I think this could be something that people could be disappointed with. This has been happening a lot lately, where people are disappointed with things that happened in One Piece, and based on their disappointment, they kind of blame the series for not living up to their own expectations based on the theories they created. So that's like saying you create a theory for 944, like, okay, Zoro dies, or Kuina comes back, or we see some Ryuma tells Zoro like information about a black blade, and that doesn't happen. We just get Zoro and Sanji running away from the capital, trying to escape X-Drake and Orochi and Hawkins. Then we're like, what is this? This is not what we predicted. And I feel like we're kind of trapped in that right now. This is the era of that, in which theories that are not coming true, people are being disappointed because the story is not playing out the way they want it to be. I think about sometimes we be in discussions, right? And we be talking about video games like One Piece World Seeker. Before we knew anything about it, we said we would like a video game in which we could all choose our own pirates, and you have to find certain devil fruits and you unlock different powers, and then it's like an open world game, things like that, and you can recruit your own crew. That was our initial expectation of that we threw it out there. Our expectations of One Piece World Seeker. Needless to say, that's not what World Seeker is. World Seeker is an open world game where you're fighting through the story, and it's just somewhat underwhelming gameplay. You have boss fights. It's just not great, right? But it's nowhere near our expectations. So because we had just so high expectations, we were somewhat disappointed. Well, a lot disappointed. And that's the same way we're going with One Piece and a lot of theories. That's why personally, I try not to. I used to want to make a lot of theories, and now the theories that I make, or theories I want to say, it's just like simple observations where it's like, okay, maybe that could happen. I'm no longer going into the story and trying to predict what's going to happen, because sometimes it burns you out and it takes away from the actual story and what's going on. So sometimes you just got to live in the moment. And I feel like a lot of us most of the One Piece fans today, because of how long One Piece has been, they're just living in the future. Is like, what is the end? They want the end, but don't want the end. So, yeah, give me your thoughts. What do you think? Again, with 944, do you believe the hype? I don't. I gave you my thoughts on what could possibly happen based on my whole observation. But yeah, that's about it. Leave your thoughts below. Shout out to all my patrons. Thank you guys for your support. If you would like to become a patron, click the link down below. You can get information as far as new videos. You can vote on those, special rank in Discord, different things of that nature. So become a patron if you want to support the channel. I mean, of course, just viewing and liking, subscribing, that helps a lot, but of course Patreon is taking it to another level. So thank you guys so much for your support. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you have not, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.